Earlier today, clashes broke out between independent Jammu and Kashmir Assembly MLA Engineer Rashid's men and BJP workers in Pulwama in Jammu and Kashmir. Independent MLA from Langate constituency, North Kashmir, Engineer Rashid was in Pulwama to protest against the killing of a civilian in cross-firing that took place between terrorists and security forces yesterday. The BJP has accused the MLA of provoking the people of Pulwama. And now it emerges that Engineer Rashid had threatened a BJP leader after the scuffle. Engineer Rashid can be heard on camera telling the BJP leader that he will hand him over to the Lashkar if he doesn't remain quiet. Let's listen in. And I want to bring in Ashraf Wani, for my colleague, for more on this story. Ashraf, take us through details. Is this what we hear, that Engineer Rashid threatened to hand over the BJP leader to Lashkar?
Yes, absolutely. You are rightly saying so. Because basically we heard this audio he is saying in Kashmiri to the BJP youth district president, whose name is Mr. Shabir. Then when the BJP leaders, the local leaders of BJP came and had a kind of scuffle with the Engineer Rashid on his protest, and they had some reservations on the displaying of Modi's poster with blood, and on that issue there was some scuffle. But interestingly, after that, when scuffle was over, the Engineer Rashid is clearly saying to the BJP leader that he's saying to someone that tell this guy to keep quiet, otherwise I am going to hand over to you to the Lashkar people tonight. When he uses the word tonight, I am going to hand over to you to the Lashkar people tonight. It is very ununderstandable how and in what context he uses the word of Lashkar-e-Taiba. Either is he responsible or responding to the Lashkar-e-Taiba, or he has any kind of link to Lashkar-e-Taiba. He openly, in the open ground, says to the BJP worker that he will be handed over to the Lashkar if he does not remain quiet.
Now, when he says Lashkar, it is clear that he means Lashkar-e-Taiba. Has he clarified on his statement?
100%. It is only the one word which is being used for the Lashkar-e-Taiba, Lashkar, and here we see commonly this word being used in the Kashmir, and his clearly indication was towards the Lashkar-e-Taiba, and he smoothly said, but it was recorded on the camera, he is saying to some person that tell him to keep quiet, otherwise he will be handed over to the Lashkar. And even he says, I will hand over him to the Lashkar tonight. This is the specific word which is being used by the Engineer Rashid after the scuffle with local BJP leader.
Tell him to keep quiet or I will hand him over to the Lashkar tonight. And this is an elected representative of the people of Jammu and Kashmir in North Kashmir, and he's threatening to hand over a leader to the Lashkar tonight. This is how he speaks. Ashraf, stay with me for a moment. I will come back to you for more on this shocking story. But let's listen in to Engineer Rashid before I come to you for more on the story. Ashraf Wani, my colleague in Srinagar, India Today's bureau chief in Jammu and Kashmir, joins me with more on this story. How is the police reacting to this? How is the BJP reacting to this? Has Engineer Rashid clarified? Take us through details, Ashraf.
Gaurav, this statement is with us, and that we are showing on the television, and this is on record. This is not something who says that Engineer Rashid has used the word Lashkar and has used the Lashkar threat towards a BJP leader in Pulwama. This is on record, and what he says, it can be clearly heard and it can be clearly understood. But so far, no one has reacted. Probably by coming this statement on the television, leaders may come in open. But so far as the BJP local leaders are concerned, they have said that this is MLA who always speaks the language of Pakistan, who speaks always the language of terrorists and separatists, so he has no right to go for demonstration. This was the saying of local leaders of BJP in Pulwama. But as far as police is concerned, we have not seen any kind of response from the police. Even police tried to, without any kind of tension, remove Engineer Rashid from the spot, and they so far achieved that they separated the BJP leaders in the local place and then Engineer Rashid. And after this sit-down protest in Pulwama, Engineer Rashid is back towards Srinagar. Probably he may be asked about it. Now it depends on the police whether they are going to ask Engineer Rashid about this issue, that how he threatened a BJP leader that he's going to hand over them to the Lashkar-e-Taiba, what kind of connection he has with Lashkar-e-Taiba, and why he used the word and the threat of Lashkar-e-Taiba towards BJP MLA.
Spot on there, Ashraf Wani. Stay with me for a moment, because this also points to another question. Are leaders a hand in glove with terrorist organizations in Jammu and Kashmir? We need an answer to that. That is something we will continue to seek an answer. But before that, let's listen into this man. Let's listen in to Engineer Rashid. I'll get you more on that story. Let's listen into him. For the benefit of India Today viewers who do not speak Kashmiri, I want to bring in my colleague Ashraf Wani, our bureau chief in Srinagar, for more on the story. Ashraf, since this is a very, very sensitive issue, a very sensitive topic, this man on our television screen is Engineer Rashid. He is an independent MLA in Jammu and Kashmir, from North Kashmir. He is often accused of speaking the language of separatists, often accused of very serious charges, but today he has been caught on camera threatening to hand over his political opponents to the Lashkar. But I want to get my colleague Ashraf Wani to translate for us word for word what he said in Kashmiri and what it means in English. Ashraf, take it away.
Yeah, Gaurav, basically these are only third or four words which are being used by the Engineer Rashid, and if we would like to listen and we'll show again to the viewers, they can also even understand. He says to someone who is ahead of him, probably he is not in the picture, but he is some kind of representative from police or some kind of representative from the administration. He says tell him to keep quiet. He is addressing towards the BJP youth district president, Mr. Fayaz, Mr. Shabir, who was there with his supporters who came and protested against the sit-down of the Engineer Rashid. He says basically tell him that keep quiet, otherwise I am going to hand over you to Lashkar tonight. These are the simple words, the translation of these words, what Engineer Rashid says on camera. Tell him keep quiet, otherwise I am going to hand over you to Lashkar tonight. This is the complete conversation which is on record, which is on camera by Engineer Rashid here in Pulwama.
Ashraf Wani, keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more. This is shocking. Engineer Rashid, he's an MLA, an elected representative, who's saying to his political opponent that I will hand you over to Lashkar-e-Taiba if you don't keep quiet. We will continue to track that story very, very close.
Country's parliament right in front of the Russian embassy in Kabul. Eyewitnesses say it was a suicide car bomb in front of the Russian embassy. A number of casualties.
What's up, Delhi? So who are the chicks and cookers who are coming on stage?